Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stay Woke and Ratchet podcast. I am your host, Dominique El Rey. How you guys doing? Okay, you guys, first and foremost, I want to welcome our guest today. Hi. Introduce
Hello.
yourself to the people.
I'm Trevicia. They call me Honey, the young black visionary.
Ooh, I like that. All right, you guys, before we get into anything, I want to start the day off with the positive message, of course, how we do every day. The positive message of the day is we need to learn how to respect each other as humans.
Mm.
I feel like we're living in a time today where there's absolutely no respect amongst humans, like no regard for human life, no regard for people's feelings, love, anything.
In general.
And in general. And I feel like we need to learn to respect each other lives, respect each other differences, just respect each other. So wherever you are in the world, respect each other, respect people. We are all humans. We all bleed, die, cry, just like each other. So respect each other. Okay. All right, y'all.
How's the word?
Period. Okay, let's get to some things. First, let's do some promotions. You guys, El Rey Save the Day will be at a pop-up shop on November 27th. Follow my Instagram page, El Rey Save the Day, on Instagram for all the details about that. But it's going to be on Black Friday at 12 p.m. Won't you introduce yourself to the people?
So again, like I said, I'm Honey, the young black visionary. If you go to youngblackvisionaries.com, I sell clothing. I also have a children's book that is for sale. It's on Amazon. It's also on my website, youngblackvisionaries.com. This is about black inventors and their inventions. A lot of stuff that we use every day and we have no clue. Somebody black made it. That's what I'm here to teach our kids about, teach y'all about, because I'm telling you, every adult that done read it, they don't know it. So
I want to get into that. I want to dig into that. Because that's very important. I don't want that to go over none of y'all heads.
Very important.
Okay. So you guys heard that. Pick up her book on Amazon. And of course, pick up El Rey Saves the Day any and everywhere or elraysavestheday.com. All right. We got a lady here today, you guys. Last week we had a lot of masculine energy and it was lit.
That's good too.
But today I like it's queen energy today. So we're going to be a little less ratchet today because it's good to be multifaceted. We're gonna be ratchet all the time.
Of course. It's woke and ratchet. We can do both.
Period. Okay, today, first, before we get into our womanly topics, how do you feel, going back to our positive message of the day, how do you feel about all these senseless killings going on in the black community today? Because that is very, very, very prevalent. And before we even get into that, RIP King Von, RIP to the guy who just died in Houston, the rapper, or in Dallas.
Mo3, yep.
Rest in peace to you guys, or rest in power. But yeah.
I feel the same way I've always felt when it's back home in my own community. You know, it's ridiculous. There's no reason for it. The one thing that I do have to say, though, I said this yesterday on my own podcast. When I was coming up, my uncles and all of them taught us you live by it, you die by it. And I can't sit here and act like I didn't listen to Mo3. And in every third song, he gonna tell you, I did it. It was my work. It wasn't even my people. It was me. So, you know, if y'all beefing that heavy and that's what you decide to do, that's the type of life you decide to live, that's ultimately kind of where it leads you. But for our communities, you leaving behind people, like, you know, we trying to get somewhere. You finally get somewhere and you die. What's the point?
Facts.
What's the point? Where are we getting? What are we really? What's the goal here? Like, what are our goals? Let's stand behind what we want to do for our communities. Let's stand behind our real goals, because you're gonna make 28 and die. What's the point?
Yeah, it's facts. And you guys have to understand, I don't think a lot of these men understand, you're leaving behind children. Like, these aren't just mothers, single men just dying. These are men leaving behind kids to be raised by mothers. And then now we have a whole nother generation of single kids coming from single parents or single mothers.
You leaving your
left to
your
raise
moms,
these kids
everything
by themselves. Your mothers, your sisters, you're leaving people behind. But like you said, We are responsible for the decisions that we make. And once you make those type of decisions, you know the outcome of those decisions. You know what I'm saying? And not to say nobody deserves
At all.
anything. I'm just saying we have to be responsible for our actions. If you have a way out, you see a way out, take it. Why do we want to be like, to even go to a bigger perspective, why do we want to be out killing each other? Like,
Right.
come on, like you don't get no cool points to kill other black men. Like,
At all.
everything that's going on in the world today, if we had a war right now, how are we going to sustain if we're killing each other? So we at a battlefield, they killing, bang bang, and then somebody bump you, now you killing. It's like, what we
Right. How are we
doing?
helping each other?
It's ridiculous, and it's senseless, and the cycle is not going to stop unless we stop. Right. So just the loss of that person or that person, now these people finna kill them, and it's just finna be absolutely ridiculously worse. And I'm not a man, I'm a woman, so I don't know the words to say to men to reach them or get to them, for them to make them understand that there is better, there is more, there is something different. You don't have to be a gangster. You don't have to kill your own people. Like, that's just not gangster to me. You can stand there and record the white man kill our kids and kill
and not
other
do
black
anything
people,
and not go after them. I ain't seen y'all
and just
in the
pull your
neighborhood.
camera out. So the most you got for that is to pull your camera out on your phone. Let the police handle it, and then cry and get mad and riot and loot when the outcome don't go the way you want it. But when it comes to another black man, he could just bump you or pinch you.
You gonna walk him down.
You want to walk.
Like, for real. That's what y'all on. That's what
like,
y'all on.
It's crazy. It is crazy. I don't know how we stop it. We gonna get into that later of how to groom them better and raise them up so that that's not their reality, and that's not all they see and all they know. Because as a person who have a brother who lived that lifestyle, I understand the psychology behind it. So I can't say, I don't know what to say just to stop.
Yeah, right.
Stop it.
Yeah,
your kids need you. Their mothers need you. Your family needs you. You are needed. You are wanted. Black men, you are kings. You are not important, just niggas. Very important. Okay? You're kings. Let's act like it by not killing each other. Let's start there.
Let's start. Shit. At least that's a starting point.
That's a lot more. Like, can we at least just live? Shit, we don't talk about taking care of your kids and all that later.
Later on. But...
let's just live. All right. Off that, let's get into some girl stuff. Some deep stuff. Not too deep, but a little woke. I want to be woke today. All right, I want to discuss and explore the relationships between Black women in our community now. How do you feel about the state of Black women and the way that we deal, handle, treat, and respect each other now in our society, in our communities, in our culture?
I have to be honest and say, I personally, and it could be the circles that I'm in, the people who I network with.
Your personal experience.
Yeah, it's just from my perspective. I have to say that I think even from coming up, it's a lot better these days. I think we work together a lot more. I see it happening a lot more where if I ask somebody to join me in something, they're going to join me. They'll, throw whatever in. If I'm taking donations for something, I see a lot more togetherness than I used to see. But again, that could be from my personal perspective. I'm in a sorority and all of that. So I can hit up women and we're expected to help each other. If somebody hits me up, I'm expected to help that woman. And that's what I do. But that's me naturally, honestly. Woman, man, doesn't matter who it is. If I have the resources, I'm going to try and help you. That's just me personally. I do think it's a lot better, but I'm not going to act like we don't see the shady ones. I'm not gonna act like we don't see the ones who's hating. We don't see the ones who try and act like they want you to succeed, and you kind of, you hear it's one of those, you at the table, and when you leave, you're the topic of conversation. I'm not gonna act like that doesn't happen, because it does happen. But I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. When you think about it, we used to be in situations where you can't go nowhere without there being a fight. You can't, we have gotten to a place to where that's rare. I
It
can go
is.
if I wanted to go somewhere, get dressed up, have a good time. I can do that, and we don't have a problem like we used to have problems at every
Yeah.
single club, bar, lounge, everything we had. I think we've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? Not at
No,
all.
it's not.
Not
I
at
have
all.
to say that I agree with that, especially growing up in a violent community and growing up in violence and actually living a violent life and being a violent person for a very long time of my life. I have to say that it is different. It is getting better. More women are in positions of power. More women are successful. I think that with the growth of self-esteem within yourself, I think that that is causing an uprising, because to have your own businesses, to have your education, to have, things that make a woman feel whole within herself, I think that since so many of us have that and is gaining that, I think that it's changing the way that we see each other, because we're changing the way that we see ourselves, essentially. But like I said, I have to agree that I feel like it's getting a lot better. I feel like women are learning to love and respect each other, and I'm actually proud of us Black women,
Very,
because we
very,
lit. We
very
very,
proud.
very
But you
lit.
said something there when you said, I think as we do better, then you're more apt to help somebody else.
Of
The
course.
more I get, the more I do. You realize you don't have that mind state where you're just trying to keep everything
Yeah.
to yourself. You
Not
don't.
selfish.
Yeah, you realize that it really is enough for all of
Yeah.
us. I think when we were closer to the bottom, when we were at the bottom, we didn't believe that there was really enough out there for all of us. So you don't want to share. You don't want other people to grow because you're afraid that they're going to take your spot. And when you realize nobody can do that, you're okay with helping somebody else.
Facts. But yeah, like you said, that's just life anyway. If you don't have nothing, you can't give anything. You can't pour from an empty cup. But gaining something as Black women, like I guess they say Black women are the number one uprising entrepreneurs this year, or now. And it's creating a space where we can actually help. We can reach out and you can help other people and pull other people up. And I love it. And I'm proud of y'all. And I'm proud of us. It's Black women, we lit. And transitioning into the next question, I want to stop and ask women, any woman out there that's listening, and you as us as well, I want to pose this question. How Think about your relationship with your mother, or your relationship with your mother growing up, and I want you to think about your relationship with women. Do you see? So while you think about that, think to yourself and wonder: do you see a correlation? Do you see a correlation there?
I almost have an unfair advantage because my mom is amazing. I have a community mom. It's just me. I'm the only kid, but my mom has plenty of kids. I just literally I have a community type of mom. My parents have always been involved.
So do you see that same relationship you have with other women?
That's just how I came up. Not that I came up silver spoon, nothing like that. We was in the hood, but my mom always said I could be in the hood and not of the hood. That's what she taught me. So just watching them be such community people, watching my mom be who she was, her having the relationship she has with me, we're very close. She's always been very nurturing. Like you said, you can't pour from an empty cup. So it gives me something to give other people.
Facts.
She's poured into me so much, it overflows. Like it just gives you something. I have something to give other women. So the friends that I do have, the family members who I do know, the people in the community who I do know who didn't have that mom, I understand why it's hard for you to give me the love you don't know.
Facts.
It's hard.
Well, from my experience, most people wouldn't know, but mine is extremely different, and we can get to saying. Okay, so growing up, I grew up, and this is no slight, no shade, no disrespect, or bad ill will messaging to my mother, but this is just me speaking my truth and my reality and my experience of how I experienced her. I grew up in my relationship with my mother was extremely toxic. I grew up, it was violent, and it was by her being the first woman that was supposed to love me, nurture me, teach me things, how to love women. From my experience, I feel like I used to feel like, oh, she was hating on me. Like that was my thought process coming up. So my relationship with women went exactly as follow for a very long time, because with women I was violent. I fought women. That's how I looked at every woman, like, you hating on me. You know what I'm saying? You coming to take from me. You're coming to diminish me. You're not coming to empower me. You're coming to diminish me, because that was my relationship with my mother. And so it was exactly a direct correlation from my relationship with women and my relationship with my mother. Like, I felt like she didn't respect me. She didn't respect my talent. So I went through life for a very long time not respecting women. I had no respect for women. We could fight. We could, you bitches, you hoes, you whatever, because that's the way I was taught how women handle each other. You understand what I'm saying? And I say all that to say, to go into the messaging, we have to be mindful of how we're raising our children. I know that we feel like we need to just feed them and clothe them. However, you are teaching your child relationship skills. You are the determining factor of how they life play out with other people as well. Maybe not how it's going to end up, but it's going to affect a lot of their relationships. You understand what I'm saying? I'm older now, just coming into my own through therapy and recognizing and realizing that that was unhealthy, that was toxic, that wasn't right. That's not how you treat other women. That's not what we do. We don't have to judge each other. You know what I'm saying? As I got older and went to therapy, I start realizing that isn't right. And not only that, just watching the relationship my mother and my sister had, and the way that my sister relationship is with other women.
Yeah.
So because they're loving, like, people would think we came from two different homes, but our relationship with our mother was just so different, because their relationship was loving, because she poured into her, because she uplifted her and motivated her. That's how my sister was our whole life, uplifting, motivating, got a lot of friends. And I noticed that a lot of women who have toxic relationship with their mothers, they generally have limited amount of friends, female friends.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
so,
just like
so
thought
think about
three
that.
or four people, and you about
Think
right.
about
You
that.
about right. Yeah.
You know, even with my own friends, the ones that are close to their mother, including my little younger sister, it's like they have a lot of female friends. They comfortable with females. They can be around females. And us women, well, I'm getting, better now, but growing up, toxic relationship with my mom. I didn't want to be. I'll be cool with the boys. Like, I don't want to be with a bunch of girls. I'll be hanging out with the guys because of that toxicity and the way that I've learned how to handle women. So I feel like we need to pay attention and be mindful of that. Life is bigger than just paying bills.
Yeah.
And I know that when you're living in poverty and you're living in survival mode, that's all you could think about.
That's all we know.
Don't forget the love.
Yeah.
Don't forget the education. Don't forget the nurturing, because education starts at home. It's not just in schools what they teaching you. It starts in your house.
And those are things that don't cost. Everything you name, you can give love for free. You can live in the projects and love on your people like y'all in a mansion. You can have a clean house for free. All of these things are free, and those type of things are important to raise up a child.
Extremely.
Those are free.
So that was going to be my next question. If you could give advice to one piece of advice to a younger girl, what would it be? Because I just realized, y'all, I was joking about this on Instagram, but I'm an auntie now. And not like literally, because I do have nieces, but I mean, like, like when you young, we
completely,
sis, we young and fit. No, I'm like auntie now, like
auntie, you right? Because I had my niece asked me for candy, and the other day I was digging through my purse and I realized I got candy in my purse for her, and I was like, "Ooh, that's an auntie move." Yeah, I got candy in my purse for my niece.
I knew I was an auntie when a 25-year-old girl told me, "I just admire you and look up to you." I'm like, I want to be like you when I get older.
Older,
ma'am. And you're 25.
I was just wasn't that long ago.
So I'm an auntie now. Yes.
Yeah,
but the little girls are watching us. They are, and I laugh and joke. We curse. We, in the mix, all this stuff going on in the world with everything sexualized. Like, what would you say to a young girl coming up?
I think the most important thing, which it takes time, it does. Confidence is so important. and never dulling your light is so important. It's so important to just be confident in what you're doing, and no matter what room you walk into, because as young Black women, 99% of the times, the room that you walk into, they're not going to want you in there. The things that you're doing that are great, they're not going to want you doing them. So they're going to do whatever they can to make sure you don't feel like you should be there. You don't feel like what you're doing is right. So make sure that even if you're in a space where you are most hated, that you never dull your light. That could be at home, that could be within your family. It's within most of our families that we're not really loved. It don't have to be your parents in general. We got aunties, uncles, cousins. They ain't all for the love, you know? Mm-hmm. So no matter what the space is, I would just say never dull your light. Don't let that get to you. You could be in a relationship and they feel the same way, jealous of you, insecure, don't like you, don't like what you're trying to do for yourself, but never let that take you down. Just keep pushing, because eventually you're going to make it there and they'll have to watch it.
That's strong. I love that. I love that, because being the younger me, when you say that, you speak to the younger me. The younger me was that girl. I was that star that walked into the room and everybody in the room just, it's like, you're too loud, you're too much, sit down, we don't want to look at you. And everybody, you crazy, I want to be a, I remember one day and I came home and oh my God, I got accepted to this modeling agency. They want to fly me to Vegas and all of these things. And it was like, you crazy, you stupid, don't nobody want to fly you. I just, as that kid who had everybody trying to tear me down, I love that message. You have to keep going. You have to see beyond that. And even though it is hard, it is diminishing, it do make you feel weak. It do hold you back. But you have to know what you believe in got to be so damn strong that what they saying don't even matter. And when you come to the realization that they're just mad because it can't be them, they see something.
They see it.
So as a grown woman, what I want to do as an adult is, I'm going to be who you think I am. You think I'm so freaking great that you want to diminish me.
Because you're scared.
You're scared. So now I'm going to be exactly who you think I am. So just sit back, put your seatbelt on and wait. Because I'm going to be exactly who that you truly by heart knew that I could be, that you wanted to stop. I got to be great if you want to stop me. So use that. You got to be, if somebody is out trying to stop you, you got to be great.
Yeah, they see it. And it took a long time for me to understand that. I didn't believe that. When people would tell me that, I literally did not believe that you being this evil, this hateful to me, is you seeing the greatness in me. I never believed that until I looked back and understood that they were really afraid that I would get here. And they were hoping that they could do what they could to stop me. And if you look at that person and think about it like, okay, well, like you said, let me be that. If that's what you think, then let me try and be that great. Because the sad part about it is I think I didn't believe it. It's like I felt like you hating on the wrong person because I ain't even, like I ain't there yet. I ain't got it yet. That's how you see it. That's
like,
damn, it ain't even all.
I ain't even who I'm finna be, and you mad
and
already?
You hating on me. But it's the fact that they see it and they know you're gonna get there. So you got to look through their lenses. You got to look through their eyes and say, you know what, you're right. Ain't there yet, but I know it's coming. You got to see the vision yourself and know you're gonna be there
and understand. I studied psychology and I went to therapy. Like, I love the psychological aspects of everything, looking beyond just a surface level, because you got to understand that it stems from somewhere. And when people are doing that, you have to understand that, look at their lives. It's never really somebody that's super happy and successful in their lives and careers that's pulling you down.
Right.
It's people who mad at their damn self. It be them. It's not me type of people that's saying you ain't finna do that. No, you could do it. You could win. You're gonna win. Get your ass up. Whatever you can do, because people feel so low with what they got going on. To see you win is a slight to them. It makes them have to look at themselves like, so you can buy houses?
Right.
You can follow your dreams?
I thought you couldn't, so I didn't do it. Yeah, they thought I didn't think it was possible.
Whoa. Everything I've done in my life, somebody told me I couldn't do. And I did. Now they want to know how the fuck I did it. So always remember that. I love that. I love that so much. I love that. Especially, that's like a direct hit to the little girl that was in me. I needed to hear that, because there's so many talented girls out there, and now with the pressures of social media, it's like even more stuff
so much
telling them that you ain't great, you ain't good enough, you need more of this and more of that. And
you're enough, for real. You're enough. The talents that you have are enough. Lean into what you're supposed to be doing, who you are, what's great about you, because I promise it's enough. I promise it is.
It is. All right, guys. Next, let's go into the next question. Do you think that we undereducate our kids in the house?
I would say yes, because of the fact that we know, we know that we needed to be talented 10th. We know we need to be the greatest. So it's not even a thing. Well, they're not doing it. We can't look and say everybody doesn't educate their kids in the home. We can't do that. We have to look first off at our communities and where we need to be. So we need to be doing extra work off top. You birth the baby and it's time. Like, it's go time, because we are already behind, period. Just because of our skin. And we know that. Fair or not, those are the facts. So with that, you need to be educating your kids, with the fact that our history was burned years ago in many, many places. Your kids are never going to know those things unless you educate them. They're not going to teach them in the school. When your kids go to school, when they leave your home, just like we talked about, everybody's trying to tear them down. So you need to be teaching them so that they're smarter than everyone else, or at least as smart as, but should be smarter than everyone else. Should know that they're greater, So you have to teach your kids all those things within the home. You send your kid to school and you hope that their teacher is giving them all of the tools that they need in this world. That's a stranger.
That's a stranger.
That's a stranger.
And people always say, so you're not going to just let them go to school? You guys, like, I don't think I know that's the tradition. It's really not even our tradition. We just start doing that. But I know that that's what we're used to and we're comfortable in with. America. Just send them to school. Boom, they raise them. If he bad, it's because of her. Like, even going about my own child, everything that I have groomed him to be and to think and to feel, it's tested while going to school. So just imagine, I told him nothing, send him to school. My baby get to daycare. He don't go to school, but he go to daycare. So, like now in these moments, he go to daycare, and the little kids, you ain't no El Ray saves the day. You ain't saved no day. Like, you ain't no king. Like just literally and these are 4-year-old kids. Literally putting my baby down. He told them, you like my shirt? This me. That ain't you. Like, but because of what I've groomed him with, because of me, you king, you are the king. That's you the star, pumping that life into him. I watched him. Like, I go watch my child because I just want to see. I don't want to feel who he is in my face. I want to see. I like watching. And I'm watching him. Yes, I am the king. Like, it made me so proud.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys, we have to educate our kids in our homes. We have to. And I don't mean 1 + 1, 2 + 2. Right. You don't have to go to that extent. You don't have to, because there are teachers that will teach those things. But I just mean the fundamentals. I mean character, values, morality. You're like, growing up, I can honestly say I love my family. I don't want to feel like I'm bashing, but I just want to be honest. I feel like there was nothing. Shout out to my father. Not to say like I preferentiate one over the other, but my father was more like that, like motivating. Boom, you a winner, you a star. Like, he taught us a lot of things as kids. But once that relationship dissolved and we were just left with our mother, it was more like, I honestly can say I learned nothing about being a woman. Nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. I didn't learn respect women this way.
Right.
Don't let a man talk to you this way.
Right.
Don't do this. I just wasn't poured into. So everything that I've learned, I had to learn through experiences.
Yeah.
I had to go through the hell and the fire and this and that just to learn something that I wasn't taught, essentially.
Right.
It was crazy. It was made me who I am.
Yeah.
But I feel like we can avoid that.
We can
avoid, like you said, your family poured into you.
Yeah.
You probably didn't have to go through hell and high water, fight women, get beat up, get your hair pulled out, gotta
Mm-hmm.
change your nails all the time to
Mm-hmm.
understand we don't need to be fighting each other.
Right.
I want to teach, like, I want my daughter to be the complete opposite of me.
Mm-hmm.
Not far as talents and personality and all that. I'm lit. She needs that. But just where being rough and fighting and all,
Mm-hmm.
I want her to be mess with his hair.
Yeah, it's truly,
I love
because that's
you.
how I felt. I used to say that in school,
I like that.
because I felt like I got myself together for school today. I worked hard, so I always my grades was, I mean, B's. I was mad, honestly. So for me, I'm like, I'm trying to stay above a 3.5. If we fight, we fighting, because it's no
You messing
reason
up
for
my
it.
taking me off
You
focus.
messing up my hair, my nails. I got dressed today. You taking me off my focus. I'm gonna be all off my pivot just because you wanted to fight me.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
you know, so it was one of the things that I made known that I'm not gonna be for that reason. But like you said, a lot of it was that me and my cousins, like, we were all raised differently, but we still all knew the fundamentals of what was right, what was wrong. You know who you're disappointing when you do certain things. We had at least enough structure, enough words, you know, just people say so many things and they're swarming around your head. So if you don't give your kids the words to swarm around their head, someone else is. What their teacher is saying is what they're hearing at night. When they get up to brush their teeth and they look themselves in the mirror, they look into the windows of their souls, they're hearing something. So you have to give your children the right words so that they're hearing positive things as they look at themselves when they close their eyes at night. Because those are the things, when we go out to the world, we need to hold our shoulders up. We're hearing something. You got to give your kids those words.
Them the ancestors. Vagina, spiritual look. That's another conversation for another day. Them the ancestors talking to y'all. But yes, educate your kids. And another one. So growing up, were your parents comfortable with talking about sex to you? Because I hear from a lot of people, even in my experience and just conversing with a lot of people, I don't know if it's a Chicago thing, but a lot of us, we just grew up with no knowledge of sex. None.
I didn't have none. So what my mom made sure to do, she knew for sure that she knew what she was supposed to do. So she made sure to educate me about safe sex. There was a woman in my community. She just used to go everywhere with like a bowl of condoms. She had this slideshow. She would put it up on the TV, and you sitting there looking at syphilis and chlamydia and, you know, all that gonorrhea. So we just looking at the pictures like, okay, so don't do this, you know. But as far as literally talking about like what should happen, what shouldn't happen, what it actually looks like, because the fact of the matter is y'all telling us not to do it and a lot of people are going to do it. Period. So we didn't have those conversations. It wasn't until I got grown that we actually started talking about sex, like with my parents. No, I didn't they didn't teach me too much about sex. They just told me, you know, don't do it. If you do it, make sure you're safe. Don't have no kids. Yep. But that is
every almost everybody I talk to say that was the conversation, and that was my conversation. Don't be a stupid bitch and get pregnant. Like, that was pretty much. So the goal was don't get pregnant. So for till I got older, that was the thought. Long as I ain't get pregnant, I don't give a fuck what's going down. Yeah. Everything is great.
Yeah, you say, you know, don't get pregnant. You ain't trying to. You don't want to be pregnant. You don't want to get nothing. That's pretty much like. But there, like you said, there wasn't a conversation. Because it's going to happen.
Yeah, but why do you think that we are so afraid of that conversation?
I think people assume that education is going to lead to comfortability. So they think like, okay, if I educate my kid on sex, then they'll be comfortable enough to go do it. No, they're going to do it very uncomfortably. They're going to do it real afraid. They're going to, you know, do it wrong. So you might as well, because I don't care who you are and what you think about your children. It's gonna happen. I mean, some of them do wait, of course.
Even if you wait, it's
still gonna happen. So it's necessary to have the conversations. It's so natural. Y'all did it. You know, like
that's how we got here.
So why don't we talk about it? I just think, but I think that's most of the thought process is like, if I teach you, you'll be comfortable enough to go do it.
I think I'm sending you out there. Yeah, and I feel like in the times that we live in now, where everything is over sexualized, and sure, it's promoted. I'm seeing 13-year-old girls
look
Just
grown, looking grown, and
that's another
doing a
conversation. The
lot. Yeah.
13-year-old girl, it's scary. It's
Mm-hmm.
really scary. But
Yeah, it is.
I'm just watching them on Instagram and they naked and
Mm-hmm.
this and it's like, not to judge, but it's like, okay, like, can we stop and educate these kids?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we empower them to know? Like, once they get to a certain point, I feel like everybody just judge
Mm-hmm.
versus educating
Yep.
versus
And it goes
telling them.
quickly. It
It
goes
goes
from it
extremely
goes
quick.
straight from you too young to where now I'm looking at you like your hips spreading, what's going on? But there's no conversation.
None.
So you went from I was too young to do it or talk about it. Now it's time. And
Right.
all you're doing is consistently wondering if I'm doing it.
And
But we're
then-
not having conversations about it.
And then they and thinking back to the kid, to that kid mind as being one of those kids who absolutely weren't educated at all. What, they wouldn't even be a topic. Just don't be a hoe and don't get pregnant. That was my conversations I got. But just thinking about back as that kid, it's like, you don't know. You scared. You don't know what to do. Is this the right person? Then you feel like, who do you talk to? Because your peers are just as dumb as you are. No disrespect, but in that age, when you that age, you dumb.
They don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, you're ignorant. You're not dumb. You're ignorant because you don't know. You literally just don't know. That's ignorance.
Yeah.
But they're just as ignorant as you are to the subject. And
so going to them isn't gonna help. I will say my mom did
sends
tell
you
me to
off.
come to her. But telling me and showing me is two different things. You know,
Right.
you can say that all the time, like, oh, my door is open, make sure you're comfortable to, but what it really should have been is, if you expect me to be comfortable talking about sex with you, you're gonna have to talk you're gonna have to be comfortable enough speaking about sex with your kid to expect them to open that door and come tell you,
like,
to tell
so
you that, okay, I
natural.
like this guy and I'm really thinking about doing it. But like you said, is this the right person? Or because we already know our parents can look at a person and be like, girl, you know, so what would that have looked like if we had that back then?
If
what would that have looked
my
like?
life would be extremely different.
Mhm.
And I know it may sound dramatic, but I think we underestimate the power of just teaching somebody something. Education, we underestimate the power of education.
Yep.
We think education is only 1 + 1, 2 + 2 in school. If my mother would have sat down and told me, boom, if a guy, man, do this, he don't like you. If I was well informed and well equipped, I would not have went through a million things that I've went through in my life. Not blaming them, because it made me who I am today.
Right.
And to have the experience is to relate to somebody out there who don't know. You understand? Because from you, not your situation isn't like mine. So you could probably understand, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I can definitely understand because I was there. You get what I'm saying? Even though we meet in the middle now, but it's like, I can relate to those kids just because I have those experiences as they have. So I'm not regretful, but I'm just saying we can prevent that. It's preventative.
Because it hurts. So ain't no reason to go through it if you don't have to. Save the next one.
Bro, we can save them. Why do you want your kids to go through what you went through? It was a mess.
Yeah.
Even though we made it out,
I don't want that story. Ain't no, listen, we act like it's some sort of trophies. Ain't no trophies in the struggle. Ain't none. If I can skip it, I'm trying to skip it. I don't care what y'all talking about. You don't really get no stripes.
No, like, what?
You don't get stripes.
Struggling is not fun.
It's not fun.
That shit take a lot of time. It's annoying. Take a lot of time trying to rebuild yourself. Like, anybody got time for that? Who child? Educate y'all kids.
Just thinking about it.
Educate y'all kids. All right. Why do women call each other bitches and get mad when guys do it?
But we've talked about that in so many spaces, so it makes me mad when we talked about it with,
well, just the same thing as nigga.
The word nigga. We talk about it with the word nigga. We talked about it with small stuff like us saying like, oh, you ugly, you know, just that small stuff. We've talked about it with plenty of words where it's like, why is it that when it's a word that you so badly want to use that you don't understand that the context matters? The word female, when we talk about the fact that you'll literally hear somebody say this female, you wanted to say it, so you're replacing it to use that word
your
female.
Energy was just
so
intense.
It's like, why are we acting like context doesn't matter? We could literally say, you know, just anything that you say, it matters how you say it. So I could say, you know, bitch, I'm so tired, or bitch, it's a difference. There's literally a difference. So why do we act like we have no knowledge of the way
Yeah.
words come off in their context. I think everybody should be able to say and do what they want to do. So people who do have friends and they call them, oh, bitch, that's cool. And I think it's okay for you to be able to tell other people you don't want them calling you that. You don't want them saying that. Something as small as my nickname. Everybody around me who know me, I got so many nicknames, and that's fine. But I can meet you and say, oh, okay, I'm gonna call you. And I'll be like, no, you gonna call me by my full name. You don't know me like that. And that's okay for me to say.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, why do we act like that about the word? Like we're confused when in all actuality, all you really want is the ticket. Just like white people in the word nigga, all you really want is a ticket to call me that.
Facts. Intention matters. Everything is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as I grow, not get older, as I grow older and wiser, I'm on this journey and on this path to learning how to speak power, purely power.
And unlearning.
You know, I'm trying to unlearn all the things that were taught to me as a child. 30 years worth of BS that I'm trying to undo alone, single-handedly, with no guidance, no mentor, no, just a therapist, and the
amazing, do that.
The outside mentors, obviously, but I'm trying to unlearn all those things. So I sing some songs, I say some stuff, bitch this, but my friends, we don't address each other, bitch. We don't, bitch, what you do? No, that's not how we talk to each other.
Right.
Why do I need to be your, like, because I understand just like nigga, it's like, I say it sometimes unintentionally because that what was programmed into my head. We so used to it. Long.
We so used to it.
But standing firm in it, I have to honestly say I don't like it. I don't like bitch, nor do I like nigga. I only like words of power, honestly. So if I could be the woman I truly wanted to be with no trauma, none of that, I wouldn't be saying bitch, nor would I be saying nigga. I don't like none of that. Why can't we just be words of power? Like, I don't like when people call me stupid or dumb. Bitch, you stupid. Bitch, you stupid. Like, I get aggressive and I don't like that. Nothing about me is stupid. Don't disrespect me in that manner. I don't care if you using it in a intention,
a
playful way. I don't like it. I just don't like to be diminished or disrespected under no circumstances, whether you saying it happy or you saying it's whatever context. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Do I do it? Yes, so I'm not knocking or downing anybody because I do slip up too.
We're used to.
It's what we used to. But overall, I feel like we should practice. And even if we put it into practice, just try using words of power. When I talk to men, you kings. When I talk to women, you queens. Like some women get mad because I want to be the queen. Why are you mad? Because I want to be a queen.
Yeah.
If I say I'm that bitch, if I had a chain that say I'm that bitch, everybody be that's cute, girl.
Yeah, they would love
me,
that.
The queen. Why you got to be the queen? Why does me being the queen make you feel less of a queen?
Right.
Why I can't be I'm the queen, you the queen, she the queen, we the queens? You understand? I just feel like more words of power,
for sure.
And even if we can just put it into practice, more words of power.
That's important. I do love that. And even small stuff like I kind of be training my friends with I'm broke, or like you get paid, you pay everything. Girl, I did this and that. My kid's birthday is coming up. I'm broke. No, you're not.
Nope. I don't like
no, you're not. So like you said, we're unlearning. It's teaching each other.
The power of the tongue is we don't know. We are manifesting our lives by our mouths. We are manifesting our lives. And we don't even realize it. Nigga this, nigga that. And then he turned out to be a little gangster nigga. And then you mad. But you told him he was a nigga his whole life. Bitch this, bitch that. Calling your kid hoes and hoes and hoes. And you wonder how they became a hoe. You called them a hoe forever. What do you mean? If you had said queen, we probably would have been a queen. You're manifesting things.
Yeah.
We have to be careful. Power of the tongue is real. Now, before we wrap up, you guys, I want to get into the book because it is very important. It is extremely imperative that we talk about all night. We've been talking about education leading up to this because it's all about programming and education. The schools are programming us. We don't know these people. Half of the stuff they're teaching our children are falsified. It's not even true. It's made up information to push a narrative and an agenda. So not only myself, but you came out with a book for Black children, and if you can explain it and your purpose.
So like I said, it's called Someone Black Invented That.
Gorgeous.
So my purpose was, first off, me myself personally, there was information that I would be looking for and I couldn't find. Like, if you just Google it, if you Google certain Black women, you'll find a picture that looks like her and it's for 5 people and the woman looks like me. So why is there not a picture of that woman where, all of her information should be laid right out? And you can't Google people and find their real information. If you Google who invented some of the things that we invented, a white person's going to come up. Absolutely. And that's not true. So my purpose here with this book was to just to scratch the surface in educating our kids about what it is that we do, so they understand that it's reality. If they look at the everyday things that they use and do, and they know that somebody Black did that for them, somebody Black really invented that, now I understand that I can actually do it. Because so many of the things in this world we feel like we can't do. We don't see it done, so we don't think we can do it.
Make babies.
We don't think we can do it. That's what we're told. So I'm working hard to change the narrative so that our kids understand that we do a lot of things. I don't want it to be just Malcolm X and Martin Luther. No slight to them at all. No. But that's not it. That's not it. That's not even the start. So I don't want that to be all that we learn. So I'm just getting started with teaching our kids something about ourselves, what we do and how we do it, and how we can do it with nothing. Some of these inventors had no education. I'm talking about dropped out in elementary school, not high school, not middle school, elementary school education. And they were able to invent the things that you use every day that are very complicated. I wouldn't be able to just sit down and do it. So to see greatness like that, I want to speak to the kid who's sitting down messing with some gadgets, and his family is like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You might be able to build something greater than we can ever imagine. So I really want to speak to those kids because we have it in our path. We have it for sure.
Sorry, y'all. I'm so emotional. I'm just so proud. I love it so much.
Thank you.
Y'all,
Thank you.
Just so proud. I love it so much.
I appreciate that.
Because I didn't grow up seeing it. So everything you said, I just love the energy, because everything you said is speaking to the little girl. I didn't see it. I didn't know. I didn't believe. I just knew I had a dream and I was going to be something big. I just couldn't see it around me. I had no books or nothing. So to start so young, to let these kids know, to let these kids see and to learn, because we just don't. A lot of kids, I talk to kids and they really just don't know.
They don't understand.
They really they yearning for the knowledge. They are open. Kids welcome me so easy to just talk to them because they just want to know.
Nobody does that. We don't pay attention to kids.
We don't. We want to just teach them rap stuff. Or just tell them sit down and shut up. But they want to know. They want to be educated. They want to be empowered. Yeah. And to have things like this to empower your kids, it's absolutely amazing and inspiring, and I love it so much. I want this one.
You. Okay,
but I love it so much. It's amazing, you guys. Black people, we lit.
I promise you, we are. Don't let nobody lie to you. It's hard because we don't know. We don't understand it. It's so hard. But
I know a lot of people that don't come from that world. I come from that world. So coming from that world, I can speak for those kids because I was one of them kids. It's amazing. You guys, again, before we get out of here, let's promote you guys. El Rey Saves the Day. Obviously, I wanted to even just start even younger as babies, because watching that, it really is playing in my child's head as a baby, just to start putting it in their head, see them as little babies, seeing Black kings. Like, I could be a king.
Right.
People come up to me from reading my book, and I never really, I'm as confident as I am and outgoing as I am. I'm a little humble.
You don't understand the magnitude of the thing.
And I feel like I understand, but I just don't like say it. I feel it. I know it. It shakes in my bones, but I don't profess it. Like the messaging and the all the messages I get. Like my sister be like, post this stuff. Why you don't be posting? And I never do. But people and looking at the kids. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Elric. Like, to watch the Black kids feel empowered
Mm-hmm.
by something than just to say, that's me, that rapper right there holding the money, smacking
Right.
it. Like,
Right.
this is me, the king.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I love that, you guys. elraysavestheday.com to purchase my children's book for your little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody tell them where to get
This
this
is on
exactly.
Amazon. It's also on my website. So if you go to youngblackvisionaries.com, you can purchase this book. I'll send a signed copy if you go to youngblackvisionaries.com. So I've got the book and a whole bunch of other merchandise if you go to youngblackvisionaries.com.
Okay, and one more, guy. Let me tell y'all where the pop-up shop gonna be at real quick. El Ray Saves the Day will be at the at a Black Friday pop-up shop this Black Friday on November the 27th from 12 to 4 p.m. you guys, on 5959 Long Drive. Go to my Instagram page to get the details on that, you guys.
Shop Black on Black Friday.
Thank you. We are so happy to have you. You guys follow her on Instagram. She have a podcast of your own as well, you guys. Thank you. I love you and see you later. All right, y'all.